Welcome to the Manager in Ministry. This is a 2-minute teach, and this one right here could save you more time than anything else. How many of you have a stack of books next to wherever you sit, and it's this huge shelf of shame? These are all the books that you bought. This would be a good read, but you don't have time to read it. I think you just take 1 hour to read one book. You're like, no, that's not even possible. How would I do that? Most books are not worth more than 1 hour of your time. Let's start with Turn This Ship Around. This book was recommended to me. I bought the book. I put it on the shelf. It was part of this pile right here. I took 2 or 3 of these on a trip, and I said, okay, I'm just going to spend 1 hour on it. Here's what you do. You take a look, the first thing, and you look for the table of contents. You read through all of the table of contents. Once you're done with the table of contents, going to a chapter, and when I look at that chapter, I'm going to start just thumbing through the chapter to try to figure out how he organizes the chapter. I realize that he's telling stories here at the beginning, and all of his points are right here towards the end. It's usually the last little section where he makes all of his points right there. My goal is to just read 1 page in each chapter. That's all I'm going to read, and usually it's the last page of the chapter where I'm reading that and seeing what he has to say. Once I finish 1 page in each chapter, then I step back to the table of contents and I'm like, which chapter do I want to read? I'm about a half hour into this read, and I just picked the one that's most interesting to me. In this particular one, I picked chapter 11, I Intend To. And I turn to that page 78, and I just read the whole chapter. Sitting back, and I'm like, wow, that was really good. At that point, I've about spent an hour on this book, and I have an idea of what it's about, and I know whether it's worth another hour or it's just done. I know the contents. I'm set to go. I set this book aside. For me, Turn This Ship Around, I'm starting back at the beginning and I'm going all the way through. But for me, there's only a few books that hit this thing. Quality Friendship. So now we're into more of a spiritual book. Same thing. Read the table of contents, make your way through, pick the chapter that you want to key on, and read that chapter. Exemplary Husband, great chapter on pride, the making of a leader. There's one chart in here that's worth the whole price of the book, showing you all the seasons of life that you go to. Made to Stick, dealing with ideas. Numbers Count. Again, I read this book, never spent more than an hour on it, but there are 3 or 4 things in this book that I've used from just that quick read through. Building a Story Brand. If you're trying to tell the story of your ministry, this is excellent. The Skilled Facilitator, I read through this one and I realized there were 8 behaviors of mutual learning. I just went to that. I still haven't read the whole book, but the one chapter that I read, worth its weight in gold. I highly recommend that you just take an hour to spend on a book. Most of the time, you're done with that book and it's been really helpful. Sometimes you keep on going and go in depth. You'll save a ton of time and you'll get through this pile.